you ever feel drained and tired and you don't have any energy throughout the whole day to a point where it's literally stopping you from functioning and working properly? But at the same time, somehow when you try to sleep, it's literally impossible and you just lay there motionless, staring at the ceiling. Don't worry, you are not alone. The American National Sleep Foundation found in a study that teenagers and young adults specifically are not getting sufficient sleep. The study noted that a significant percentage of teen and young adult respondents reported that they felt tired or sleepy during the day. And it shows. Hey everyone, welcome to Body Language. This is a video podcast that aims to dissect the intricacies of the human body. I'm Neha, and I've always been fascinated by the human body and its continual pursuit of keeping us alive. I'm by no means an expert, and I'm actually a really big fan of keeping things simple. So, with the help of doctors and specialists in the field, this podcast aims to break down the complexities that surround medical sciences into something more digestible for everyone. I hope you enjoy. So many young people complain that they just do not have enough energy throughout the day to work or study properly or do whatever it is that they need to do. And they also complain that when it's finally time to go to bed after a long day, it seems impossible because they suddenly feel this jolt of energy, they feel really energized, and they just can't go to sleep. It may seem like your body is playing tricks on you, but the truth is that feeling tired throughout the day and also feeling restless during the night is a direct result of our routines and habits impacting something called our circadian rhythms. To break this down a bit, circadian is derived from Latin. It comes from two Latin words, circa meaning approximately and diem meaning day. Together, circadian essentially means approximately a day, which reflects the 24-hour cycle that these biological processes follow. To explain it as simply as possible, your circadian rhythm is your body's 24-hour clock that controls when you feel awake and when you feel sleepy. But we don't have inbuilt clocks in our bodies. How does our body know what time it is? Well, we are actually the ones who tell it, through our actions. When your brain is exposed to light, it simply thinks, oh, it's daytime, and it will start to respond accordingly. This response mainly includes a decrease in a hormone called melatonin. This is the hormone that's responsible for making you sleepy, and it also causes the upregulation of cortisol, a hormone that effectively stresses you out and energizes you to wake up. The overall result of this is less sleepiness and more energy. Unfortunately, our brains think that all light is sunlight, and that's where the problem is. Phones. When you're on your phone late at night, the blue light emitted from the screen tricks your brain into thinking that it's still daytime. This prevents the natural increase in melatonin that should be happening at this time as it gets darker, making it hard for you to feel sleepy. Instead of winding down, your brain stays alert, which is why you might find yourself lying there wide awake even when you desperately want to sleep after a long day. Remember, it's called a circadian rhythm, so think of it like a cycle. Exposure to light should go up and down repeatedly within the 24-hour cycle. But with phone usage right before bed, the rhythm is totally thrown off. We get exposed to real sunlight in the morning and throughout the day, but before bed, when it should be getting dark, we see blue light emitted from our phones. So throughout the day, the rhythm is not rhythming because we don't give it a chance to reset. So let's say that it's the end of the day and you go to bed. But before you actually sleep, what's the very last thing that you do? I'm guessing scroll on your phone, which is charging right next to you. Why not? It's an infinite source of dopamine and stimulation, a perfect end to an exhausting day. Well, no, for 2 reasons. First, that much dopamine and stimulation is awful for your brain, but that's a whole other standalone problem for another video. 2, your phone emits blue light. Blue light, if you look at the visible spectrum, has the shortest wavelength, and therefore it also has the highest frequency. Basically, this means that it has more energy compared to the other colors. This means that more than any other color of light, blue light inhibits the production of melatonin the most, which is why you can't sleep, because you're seeing it right before you go to bed. Light is one of the main factors that impact circadian rhythms, but there are many others to consider as well. For example, your sleep schedule. Your circadian rhythm thrives on consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps to reinforce your body's internal clock because it has a chance to stick to a fixed routine. Most people, however, do not do that. Irregular sleep patterns such as sleeping in really late on weekends or frequently changing the time that you go to bed from 11 p.m. to 9 p.m. to even 3 a.m. can confuse your circadian rhythm and make it harder to fall asleep and wake up at your desired time. Another important thing is what you eat, but even more important than that is when you eat. When you consume food can greatly impact your sleep. Eating large or heavy meals right before bed is not a good idea. It disrupts your sleep because trying to sleep after a large spike in your glucose levels when your body is literally full of energy is not easy. It's the same idea. Try to eat dinner at an earlier time and the same time every day, if possible. And I know on paper all of this sounds great, but realistically, it's just not that simple. If you're a student, then there's a high chance that you're going to need to randomly stay up on weekdays to complete some work due the next day, and you're going to be sipping on coffee in the library, staring at your blue light emitting laptop until 3 a.m. in the morning. We've all been there. Doing this once in a while is okay, and you could probably even argue that it's unavoidable. But when we try to do this many times in a week, our circadian rhythms get really distorted for long periods of time. This results in ongoing sleep issues that manifest as a lack of energy throughout the day. Over time, this disruption can lead to chronic sleep deprivation, making it harder for you to concentrate, remember information that you might learn in school, and function effectively during the day. You might even find yourself stuck in some sort of cycle where you're constantly tired and exhausted throughout the day, but each time you try to sleep, you just feel restless, which makes it harder to reset your sleep schedule. So how can we actually go about breaking this cycle? The first thing is you need to make sleep a priority. This means actually setting strict boundaries for yourself when it comes to using screens. Think about the last time that you went to bed without checking your phone. It's so normalized, and at this point it feels wrong to go to sleep without checking your phone for any new updates, even if there's nothing new. It feels like some part of your routine is missing if you don't check your phone. We've built such a strong association with screen time followed by sleeping. Break that association. You really do not need it. I'm a big advocate of not charging your phone right next to your bed, or even in your room if you can help it. Your phone should not be the first and last thing that you see each day. It's just not that important. Charge your phone downstairs if you have to, or somewhere that's just not right by your bed. And make sure that you are in control of your screen time by any means possible. Like I said before, your circadian rhythm loves routine. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine can also help to signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. Equally, you can jumpstart your circadian rhythms in the morning if you're able to expose yourself to daylight early on, by going on a walk or even sitting outside for a few minutes. In doing so, your circadian rhythm will be more likely to start and finish naturally at the right time. It does take an effort to keep up these habits, but the benefits are well worth it. Establishing a consistent sleep schedule can drastically help to improve your energy levels, your mood, and your overall cognitive function throughout the day. By making these changes, you're not just improving your quality of sleep, but you're also enhancing your overall quality of life. Treat your circadian rhythm just like any other habit, because it does take time and consistency to adjust. The more you stick to a regular routine, the easier it will become over time, and you'll find it much easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. What I've talked about today is a really basic overview of circadian rhythms, but the truth is a lot more complicated than that. And I definitely recommend these 2 episodes of the Huberman Lab podcast if you want to understand this topic a little bit more in detail. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing, and also comment any other medical sciences topics or areas of interest that you'd like to see in an upcoming video. Other than that, thank you very much for watching.